Okay, marami pong salamat, Ma'am Kai, and magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Salamat po sa pagbibigay ng inyong oras ngayong 2:00 ng hapon. Kung kayo po yung mga tiga Maynila, no, tayo first day po ito ng MACQ, kaya po tayo ay stay at home. Yung iba naman po mula sa iba't iba pang panig ng Pilipinas, of course, no, maraming salamat din po. And ano po, no, and we are happy that you are here expressing your interest to know about what the topic for today, which is inclusive arts. So bago po tayo magsimula, gusto ko pong i-request kung hindi niyo po nabibisita, nabisitahin po ang www.inclusiveartsinitiative.weebly.com para po maintindihan po natin kung ano po yung ipapresent ng ating mga artists for today. Okay, so let's take it away, Ma'am Kai. Thanks. So today po, no, we would like to share with you, no, something that we thought about, no, during this time of pandemic, no, and this is regarding, no, next slide please po. This is regarding a virtual art exhibit, no. Una po, ang art exhibit po ay isang typical na karanasan or experience. Okay, request lang po na
mag-zoom ka mo.
For muting po. Okay. Alright. Requesting lang po everyone to mute.
Nag-con ka? Pinag mo yung meeting?
Okay. Alright. So thank you po. No? Okay. Ang title po ng ating activity today ay Arts and Disability 2020. No? Una po, ang 2020, of course, ang ating taon, no? It's a very, very special year. But of course, no, kung pag-uusapan po natin ng paningin o eyesight, no? Ibig sabihin ng 2020 ay kalinawan, hindi po ba? Ngunit of course, no, alam naman natin na medyo cloudy po itong taon natin kasi hindi natin alam kung ano po yung nangyayari at hindi natin alam kung ano pang pwede mangyari sa rest of the year. Kaya through Arts and Disability 2020, no, hope po natin na sana magamit ng ating society ang sining upang ma-clarify o maka-gain ng clear eyesight, no, on what this year is really all about. Yan po ang tema ng ating exhibit. Next slide, please. No, nagpapasalamat po kami, no, sa suporta ng lahat ng ating mga partners para po sa project po na ito. No? Una ay ang National Council on Disability Affairs, so NCDA, no, in celebration of the 42nd National Disability Prevention and Rehabilitation Week, which just wrapped up a few weeks ago. But of course, tuloy-tuloy po, no, ang agenda ng NCDA under the leadership of Engineer and Executive Director Emma Rojas, ang bago nating Executive Director na gusto talagang suportahan ang mga ganitong klaseng mga activities for the disability community. Next slide, please. Of course, ang Northfield Foundation, no, under, of course, the leadership for Executive Director Ma'am Teresa Luki, course, and the team, Ma'am Tess de la Cruz, Sir Ranil, Ma'am Kai, and all of you po who, from Northfield, who's really the hosts for this afternoon. No, alam naman po na at napaka-special po ng Northfield Foundation in terms of advocating for inclusive arts dahil sila po ang unang naghandog, no, ng isang inclusive arts forum last year. At ako po ang speaker po doon. So marami pong salamat. Next slide po. Now, we also have the Founders Possibilities Foundation, no? Ang dating CASP MPC na ngayon po, no, ay nagtataguyod ng isang agenda at ng programs towards music, arts, sports, and employment, no, for talent and talent development under the President Josephine Palomares, of course, and all the parents and all the members, nandito po sila ngayon nanonood. Okay, next po. We also have the UP Center for Women and Gender Studies, no, under the director, Dr. Natalie Africa Verceles and her team, no, na ano po, no, it's a very gender responsive. At naniniwala po tayo na ang inclusive arts ay kasapi po ng more isang gender responsive form of a framework, no, na kasapi po siya doon. Next slide, please. It's the British Council, no, which is the global advocate, no, lead advocate in inclusive arts. Dito po sa Pilipinas, ang head po ng arts and creative industries ay si Ms. Malaya de Rosario na ever since po ay very, very supportive, no, sa ating mga projects towards arts and inclusion. Next slide, please. Susunod po ay ang Singapore International Foundation, no, na ang naging instrumento po sa upang sila yung support ay si Wendy Nang and Geraldine Chin, who are from Singapore. No, at ito po ay isang platform kung saan ang mga artists from all over the world come together in Singapore in order to advocate for art and social good. Ang UP Manila Museum of Hazel Leaf Ideas, which is innovation and museum culture experience under the managing curator, Ma'am Joanne Rosas, no, and her team, of course, under Dr. Bondok. Marami pong salamat sa pag-host at pag-support. Ang Sobi House, no, which is which is basically an art center in Quezon City, an art and learning center for children. Sila po ang huling nag-host, no, in July 31 ng schedule. And of course, the Federation of Philippine Photographers Foundation under Calito Beltran. And of course, Ma'am Chris Leocas, marami pong salamat sa partnership po. No? Ito po ay isang grupo ng mga creative professionals all over the Philippines, no, who are really very supportive of these kinds of projects, no, for helping persons with disability to the arts. Okay, so yan po. No? Next slide, please. So without without delaying it, I would like to present to you, those who are at the center stage of this exhibit, and these are the 9 artists, who I've worked with and are very, very unique, in terms of their styles. If you are here po, artists or your parents, please unmute so you can say hello as I call each of your names. Let's start with Vico Cham.
Say hello. Hello.
Hello, Vico. How are you doing? Yes, and of course, Mami Cathy.
Hi.
Okay, hello po. All right. And then we have Roel Pascual and his mom Mayang Pascual.
Hello. How are you?
Okay, good afternoon
Glad to
po.
be here.
Okay, thank you po. Next we have Enzo Berkeley and his mom Doris. Okay. And we have Maki Palomares and his mom Jo. Saniel Tan and her mom, Baby. Alvin Cruz and his mom, Emma. Andrea Alviso and her mom, Aini. Okay, good afternoon, Andrea. Okay, Mami Aini, Bodong and his mom, Telay. And Rupert Valera and his mom, Eileen. Okay, so these are the 9 very special artists whose works you will see at the website. Okay, so basically po, to lead you on, what is inclusive arts? It's really founded on the idea of inclusion, the concept of inclusion. And pag sinabi natin inclusion, it doesn't mean that we are just limiting access to a certain group of people. So when you talk about inclusion in the arts, it means giving everyone the opportunity to access the arts and to practice art. So whether you are a senior citizen, you're a child, you're a person with disability, or with any other kind of background, or wherever you're coming from, the goal of inclusive arts is to enable opportunities for everyone to enjoy the arts. Alam naman po natin, pag sinabing art, minsan sabi nila kailangan yung maganda lang, o kailangan ito lang yung mga nasa fine arts o yung mga nasa music college, sa mga nakapag-aral ng ganung formally, pero ako po, bilang isang professor ng fine arts sa UP, sabi po sa inyo ngayon, na kami po mismo ay nag-widen na ngayon ng definition ng arts because we want it to be reachable to more people, and that includes artists with disabilities who have so much talent to share. And may pinanggalingan po itong inclusive arts. Ito po ay naghango mula sa isang movement, the disability arts movement in the United Kingdom. Kung saan in 1960s, nag-create po sila ng mga policies and programs in order to support the persons with disabilities using the arts such as dance, theater, visual arts, music, literary expression. Next slide, please. So ito pong UK Disability Arts Movement ay lumaki ng lumaki, no, hanggang naging isa siyang global movement. At ito po ngayon ay naging tinatawag natin inclusive arts. Next slide, please. At ito po yung opportunity, no, na binigay sa akin ng British Council, no, simula na ngayong taon, no, February and March, kung saan I met with around more than 14 artist organizations dedicated to the inclusive arts in Scotland and in England, no. At the same time po, talaga nakasalimuha ko, tulad po na nakikita sa litrato, no, na meron po sila doon mga studio, meron po silang mga theaters, kung saan po, no, yung mga artists with disabilities po ay nagpa-practice ng kanilang art. No? Kaya napakaganda po. At ito po ay nasa loob ng community centers. Yung palisiya po nila, no, for inclusive arts means that each city and each community in the UK should be able to provide a space and a platform for artists to practice their creative medium. At ito pong inclusive arts advocacy, no, and discipline, no, eventually spread throughout the world, no, to include the three big ones, no, aside from UK, ang US at ang Australia, no, na nag-establish ng kanilang practice. Ngunit sa Asia po, no, ay talagang nakikita din natin, no, tulad ng sa India. Tayo po ay pinalag makapunta sa India ng 2018 upang i-meet yung isang champion doon ng inclusive arts, no, na ginagamit ang sayaw, ang traditional na sayaw, upang makapag-perform ang mga artists with disabilities. Ito po ay makikita din sa Singapore, no, which is basically a leader in the inclusive arts advocacy in this side of the world, kung saan talagang nag-create po sila ng centers that's like the enabling village, no. At makikita din po yan sa Cambodia. At dito po sa Pilipinas, of course, hindi po tayo nahuli dahil sa dami po ng ating creative individuals, no. Sa katunayan, isa natin sa mga members, si Vico Cham and Ms. Ma'am Cathy, really have established a very, very good base, no, and foundation for the practice of inclusive arts, which is why na-pioneer na rin po ito sa ating bansa. Nandito lang po ako ngayon, no, isang academician at isang researcher at isang artist practitioner. Ako po isang visual artist, no, upang i-share po sa inyo kung ano na nagawa ng mundo at ng Pilipinas para sa ikabubuti ng disability arts movement, no. And of course, no, I'm very, very happy that you are here. You are attending here today, no, as an audience to listen what this really is about. Next slide, please. Okay, so yan po ang aking ginawa. Tulad po na aking sinabi, ako po ay nag-ikot, no, ito po ay sa India, no, at napakaganda pong experience, no, na makita ang iba't ibang kultura na may isang binibuild na advokasya, no, which is really for the disability welfare and rights. Next slide, please. Ako din po, no, ay nagtuturo, no, sa mga artists with diverse abilities, no, kasi when you say diverse abilities, includes those who are fast learners, those who are gifted, those who are intellectual disability, those who have autism. Wala po tayong pinipili, no. Even po cerebral palsy, makita po natin na pag nabigyan po ng oportunidad na magkaroon ng instrumento o magkaroon ng art material, no, hindi natin malalaman kung anong klaseng art ang pwede nilang magawa. Next slide, please. At of course, no, as I mentioned a while ago, no, speaking engagements, no, which talaga pong committed po tayo, no, na i-share to sa iba't ibang networks at ibang sectors. At kita po natin sa mga partners natin, no, tayo po nakapagsalita at nakapag-share na dyan, which is why po they are part, no, of this partnership, no, of this platform to advocate for inclusive arts. But of course, no, we have to talk about 2020, no, because medyo iba po talaga ang pangyayaring ito, no. Itong stay at home na ito, no, at incidentally it happens again, no, starting this day in Metro Manila and sa mga kalahating lalawigan, no. Napakalaking challenge po yan, no, sa isang artist at isang teacher tulad ko, no, na paano maita-transfer ang pagtuturo ng sining o pagbibigay opportunity sa sining kung hindi po kayo makapagkita physically. Kaya po nung March po at April, talaga pong ako'y nalungkot at sabi ko ay paano ba na yung makaka-move at move on at ito po ay na pwedeng tumagal ng taon. But of course, no, ang talent po kasi, no, kapag pinabayaan po na hindi ma-nurture, no, sayang po, no, tayo pong sa mga teachers at magulang po dito, no, kapag tayo may nakikitang isang kakayahan o talent ng ating anak, no, at ang ating estudyante, kapag hindi po natin ito inaksyonan, of course, hindi natin malalaman kung anong pwede nilang magawa at kung ano yung potential nila doon. At ayoko po sana maging balakid ang stay at home o ang pandemya upang hindi po makikasakatuparan po ito. Kung kaya ang ginawa ko po, no, ay nag-isip ako ng isang modified or simplified version ng isang pagtuturo ng art na pwede gawin online. At ito po ay ang creative journaling. Ano po ba yung essential ng creative journaling? It's basically a simple diary, no? Kung saan gamit niya ba't ibang tema, no? Yung mga naiisip at nararamdaman, no, ng mga artist na nakatrabaho ko. Binibigyang oportunidad po natin na magawa nila o masabi nila o ma-share nila through art, no? Kaya iba-iba po yung mga topics namin, no? Makikita ninyo, next slide please, no? Tulad sa gawa na ito ni Enzo Berkeley, no? Meron kaming session kung saan nakinig lang kami ng tugtog, no, habang nasa online, habang magka-connecta sa screen, no? At sabi ko sa kanila, ano yung naiisip mo kapag na-feel, pag narinig mo tong tugtog na ito, no? So pumikit talaga kami, no? At tignan po natin, tingnan niyo po, isa sa mga itong gawa na ito, napaka-colorful, napaka-vivid po talaga, hindi ba? Kaya doon po talaga, no, I know, no, na kayang-kaya nilang gawin ito, pero yung minsan hindi mo aasahan naman dahil sa online naman yung engagement na hindi mo maiko-coach ng kasing buti ng ginagawa natin dati. I just have to trust them, no, during the process and look at what the works, no, have come to be. Next slide, please. No, medyo po lumalim din kami ng konti, no? Pinag-usapan namin yung sa isa sa mga sessions in future. Ano ba ang kinabukasan nating lahat, no? Kaya tulad na sa gawa nito ni Alwin Cruz, no, na tinatanong ko actually sila lahat sa grupo. Sa tingin nyo ba ay may mga masks pa kaya ang mga tao sa future? May mga PPEs pa kaya, ano? At napaka-interesting dahil iba-iba ang pananaw nila pagdating sa kinabukasan of future. Yung iba, naka-visor na, yung iba meron ng astrosuits, di ba? Yung iba naman naka-smile at there yung walang PPE na nakikita, no? Ibig sabihin, iba-iba ang perception and iba-iba ang very optimistic, no, ang tingin sa future whether itong pandemya na ito ay mag-stay o hindi. No, I also tackled, no, a lot of issues about the current situation, no? As you can see in the next slide, no, ang tema po natin dito ay fight COVID-19, ano? At makikita natin sa work na ito ni Andrea Alviso, no, na isa sa mga paraan upang hindi ka magka-COVID ay kumain ng sustansyang pagkain. Kaya sa isip niya po, Anis, dinrowing niya ang lahat ng kanyang mga naiisip na pagkain na pwede niyang kainin. Of course, the sky is the limit, hindi po ba? So makikita natin, napaka-colorful po ng kanyang perception, no, pagdating sa nutrition through this. Ginawa po namin ito ng Nutrition Month, no, which is very, very aligned, no, with the national celebration. Next slide, please. Yung panahon din po na ito, no, ay nag-erupt po yung Black Lives Matter movement, no, sa Amerika at sa ibang panig ng mundo. Dito po sa Pilipinas, dahil lagi namin naririnig yan sa media, no, at sa social media, hinalang po namin yung katagang Black Lives Matter, ginawa namin Healthy Lives Matter. No? At napaka-interesting kasi yung definition ng health, no, makikita natin sa work na ito ni Vico Cham, na talagang napaka-articulate, no, nung kanyang pag-iisa-isa ng mga paraan kung paano maging healthy. And you know, napakaganda pong makita, no, na they're very, very aware, no, whether which kind of no matter the diversity, we are all aware, no, of the need that the need of health, no, to take care of our health at the moment. And it was a very, very special and amazing session. Next slide, please. Inabutan din po tayo ng Independence Day, no? Kung kaya't ng June 12, no, we decided to create an I Love PH team. At maski nan po sa online na paraan po ay may express po ng ating mga artists ang kanilang nararamdaman tungkol sa pagmamahal nila sa kanilang bansa, no? At napaka-colorful, napakaganda, no? Kita po natin may parol pa dito sa gawa ni Rupert Valera, no? Which is of course, no, yan ang inaabangan natin. Ano ba ang Pasko para sa atin ngayong taon, ano? And of course, that's something that we have to find out in the next few months. Next slide, please. Okay, we also did a lot of creative exercises such as mind mapping. No? Napaka-interesting tulad ng gawa ni Samuel Tan, no? Kung saan, based on one-word concepts, no? nag-isip sila, mga artists, ng iba't ibang konsepto na nakakabit dun sa main concept. Ito po ay isang napaka-healthy form of creative exercise at ginawa po namin ng maraming beses. That is also to exercise the divergent and creative thinking as we went on with the sessions. Of course, sa media po, no, ang dami nating naririnig na bagong mga salita, no? Tulad na itong idea ng frontliners. No? So tinanong ko sila, ano pa sa inyo ang ibig sabihin na pagiging frontliner? No? And you can see here in the next slide, no, of Maki Palomares, meron po tayong kanya-kanyang konsepto ng frontliners, pero isa po ang pagkakaintindi natin na sila po ay ang ating modern day heroes. No? Kaya marami po sila po ay gumawa ng letters at gumawa ng isang expression of support, no, for our doctors, and not just doctors, no, but nurses, guards, everyone, no, who is really in the line of duty, no, at the time of this pandemic. Next slide, please. And of course, travel, no, is something that was really taken out of us, no, of course, for health, for the reasons of the health risk, no, and nung panahon, nung end of June, no, may mga nagtatanong na sa akin mga artists, no, na, sir, bakit hanggang ngayon hindi pa kami makaalis? Bakit hindi man lang kami makapunta sa mall? Hindi kami makatravel, no? And ako mismo, no, bilang isang co-artist nila, hindi ko masagot. Hindi ko yung masasagot at hindi ko alam kung masasagot ko po yan, no? Even in the next few months. Sabi ko sa kanila, tayo ay nakarely, no, sa announcement ng ating presidente at yung government ay gagawin ng ating gobyerno para malabanan ng COVID. Kung kahit makikita po natin, ano, na even through art, nakapag-travel kami, no? Iba't ibang lugar talaga at tignan nyo kung gaano kaganda itong gawa ni Bodong Gaba. Napaka-vivid ng interpretation niya ng Manila, no? During probably yellow na yellow, parang summertime, di ba? So of course, there di tayo nakalabas ng summer. And of course, no, ultimately, no, art is really about sharing what you feel, no? And there were some sessions, no, a lot of sessions during the time wherein I just allowed them, no, to express what they are feeling at the moment, because not each day was a good day for us, no. Sa katunayan, may mga days na nahihirapan po, na pahirapan minsan na makakreate ng work, no. We were doing it 3 times a week at just 30 minutes each para po yung magkaroon ng online fatigue. And just sa frequency po nito, nakita ko talaga, no, kung paano nag-change yung mga moods, especially every time after 15 days na malalaman nila hindi sila makapunta sa mall o hindi man lang makalabas o makakain sa labas, ano. And tulad po sa gawa na ito ni Roel, no, nung isang happy time, no, namin na usapan, no, tinuwan niya ang kanyang sarili in a very, very happy moment. So, next slide, please. So, you can see po, no, that hindi po naging hadlang, no, ang COVID-19 pandemic para sa amin. Ngunit hindi naman ko naman din sinasabi na ito ay isang bagay na hindi natin na concern, no, because when you're going to, needless to say, no, it has really a very, very big impact to us in 3 ways. No? First is the health risk, no, that comes with that is the basic one. Second is the economic impact, no. Of course, kawalan ng trabaho, no. Pag-iiba ng format ng trabaho na nakaka-anxious at nakaka-disorient sometimes, no. And pangatlo ay ang psychological crisis. Tayo po ay nasa pang-5, papunta ng pang-6 na buwan ng pandemya. Ito na po ang moments, no, kung saan nag-sink in na po sa atin ng bagong realidad, no, na ito ay isang bagay na tatagal, no? With the hopes, of course, that this will really end soon, no? But siguro po, no, I will draw from the concept, no, of Malcolm Gladwell, no, isa pong author. Sinabi niya na ang isang black swan event, no, ay isang pangyayari sa buhay ng mundo, no, ng isang katauhan na hindi naman likely mangyayari pero nangyari, no. So it's an improbable event that just happened and changed so many things in how we live life, no. Kumbaga para po yan yung nakadiscover ka ng alien na nag-exist pala siya. Biglang iniba niya ang pananaw ng mundo, no? Yung COVID pandemic po ay parang ganito din sapagkat nung nagkaroon ng pag-restrict ng travel, pagla-lockdown ng mga bansa at mga student, hindi naman natin lubos maisip na pwede palang mangyari yun. Especially at this time, which is 2020, no? Which is a very, very, what we call a very futuristic age, no? Ngunit nangyari. At ito po talaga, no, ang sabi po sa pag-aaral ng mga eksperto, next slide please, no, is that ang tinatanggal po, no, ng isang insidente na wala tayong walang kalutasan o wala tayong control, no, ang tinatanggal niyan ay ang choice, no, yung kapangyarihan natin, ang kapasidad natin na piliin kung paano natin gusto mabuhay, anong gusto natin gawin. Because of course of the restrictions of the personal freedoms, no, that the pandemic has triggered, no, for us, no. And according to Charles Duhigg, no, which is another author, no, sinabi niya na ang naapektuhan ng helplessness o yung feeling na wala kang choice, no, it affects the locus of control o yung kapasidad o kakayahan natin, no, na kontrolin ang ating buhay, no. At ayon sa mga pag-aaral, kapag ito ay nakakaapekto sa what we call motivation. Next slide, please. No, yung motivation natin para mabuhay. Kaya nagiging vulnerable tayo to negative feelings pag wala tayong control over the situation. No? Which is why, yun ang explanation kung bakit very, very risky for psychological and emotional issues ang isang ganitong klaseng event, no, sa buhay nating lahat. No? At ano po ang inisip ko, ano ba magagawa ko bilang isang artist, no? Sabi ko is that maski pa paano, no, through art, no, sa pagpipili ng kung anong gusto mo i-drawing, kung anong kulay ang gusto mo ilagay, kung anong gusto mong galit na ilagay o saya na ilagay, no, sa papel. Do may empower, mabibigyan natin ang ating sarili ng choice upang pumili. At with the hopes, no, na sa simpleng creative process na ito, no, ay magkaroon tayo ng control sa gusto nating gawin sa buhay at kung ano ang gusto nating lumabas, no, sa papel. O kung sayaw man yan, ano gusto nating ipakita ang klaseng sayaw, ano gusto nating isulat kung literature man yan. No? Through creative expression, no, magkakaroon tayo ng espasyo upang mag-iakyat natin ang ating control over what we do in our lives. And ito po ay nakita ko, no, in 4 different ways, no, sa aking paggawa, no, with artists with diverse abilities, no. 4 po yan, no. Hopefully makatulong po sa mga teachers o parents po nandito, no, upang makita ko ano iba't ibang uses ng art, no, in this kind of process. Una, i-explore, no. Meron po ako mga artists, next slide please. Meron ako mga artists actually, no, like Andrea, no. No, kapag nagsimula na po siyang gumawa, tahimik na po siya. Minsan po, parang hinahanap ko na nga siya dun sa loob ng screen, pero nakatulog po siya gumagawa. She's very, very quiet in the whole process. And nakita ko talaga na nag-enjoy siya dun sa proseso. Minsan niya hindi ko na kailangan, ayoko na siyang tanungin kung ano yung ginawin niya, ano naramdaman niya, because sa simple act lang na pagpili ng kulay, pag-drawing, no, at paggawa ng scene mo, ay nakita ko na yung therapeutic impact sa kanya, no? Kung kaya't, and you know, very amazing pa yung kanyang creative outputs you will see in the website, no? And so, ito po, isa sa mga paraan, no? Yung pag-explore ng techniques, no, and materials is one very, very powerful way, no, of enjoying the arts. Pangalawa, no, ay ang explain, no? Meron po akong artists, no, na including ako, pag ako po binigyan ng topic o yung mga kasama kong artist dito sa exhibit, no, kung ano na naisip, no, at kung gusto nang sabihin habang ginagawa, no, at next slide please, makikita natin to sa artist si Vico, no. Si Vico, once you ask him something, no, for example, Vico, this is the topic for today, no, he will already talk about this is what I want to draw, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to say, no? And it's a very, very fulfilling experience or therapeutic experience. I know for Vico na i-share niya agad doon sa mga kasama niya sa screen kung ano yung kanyang gustong i-drawing, no? At talaga makikita natin no, sa kanyang mga gawa no, na very yung kanyang sense of articulation, no, yung kanyang intense articulation towards a topic. No? At yun ay na isang napakagandang uri ng benefit ng art. No? And at the same time, no, dahil sa kanyang talento, no, ay ilalabas niya po into concrete means no, yung kanyang nasa isip. Next slide, please. Meron po akong mga artists no, who are really more into the feeling, no? Kulay agad, no? Hindi pa nagsisimula, gusto na magkulay, no? Sir, gusto ko po tong red, gusto ko po tong yellow, no? Gusto ko po tong topic na ito talagang sabihin. Pwede po ba akong hindi sumunod sa inyo? Kasi po nararamdaman ko po very strongly about this, no? And pinapayagan po natin sila dun dahil ito po pagmimili kung anong kanilang gustong maramdaman at gusto ko nilang sabihin, no? We have to give them that freedom. At yun po yung gusto ko talaga ibigay sa kanila through this creative journaling workshop. Makikita po natin no through next slide please no, through Budong no one of our co-artists no, his really fascination and yung kanyang kagustuhan ma-improve ng kanyang spirituality, kanyang religious practice no. But because of the pandemic, hindi po yan magiging possible yung mga mass gatherings tulad yan. Kaya in his art no, in-express na yung kanyang religiosity, yung kanyang spirituality. Sabi niya na kung hindi ko magawa yan physically, gagawin ko yan online. Kaya ito pong the religious online, one of the really interesting words no, that I've encountered in all of these sessions. Next slide, please. And ang pinaka, I think profound, one of the most profound aspects of art making no, is to identify with the work. Sa arts, ang isa-isa pong artist, no, kapag ikaw ay gumawa ng artwork, ikaw ay sumayaw at na-record po yan, ikaw ay nagsulat, no? Lumabas siya bilang isang poem, no? O isa siyang libro, no? Ito po ay nagkakaroon ng sariling entity, no? Nagkakaroon to ng sariling personality na hiwalay sa artist, ngunit alam ng artist o creator na parte siya noong bagong entity na yun, ano? At ito po ang beauty ng art, no? Sapagkat makikita natin, ano, itong mga artworks na showcase ng ating mga artists, no? Are basically parts of themselves. Next slide, please. It's really parts of themselves, no? But at the same time, they have their own identities already, no? Which they are happy to show. Kaya nga po nagpapasalamat kami sa lahat nating partners, of course, with Northfield Foundation, who is the host for this afternoon, no? Na nabigyan po ng chance ang mga artists tulad po ng mga diverse artists na ito, no? Ang kanilang na nagkaroon ng entity yung kanilang mga works at na-share ito no, using this platform. Ito po ay one of the most fulfilling experience para sa isang artist. Doon po kami nagkapasalamat at pinapanood niyo din ngayon no, itong ating forum and discussion. Next slide, please. So, just to share with you the 4 things, no? Explore, explain, feel, and identify. No? Is part of a framework and a model that I developed in my studies in the master's program, UP. No, kung saan talagang bilang isang arts and spell practitioner, no, nakita ko na talaga na ang sining ay hindi lang nakapaloob sa iisang standard o sa iisang format. No? Of course, yan po ang aking kinalakihan. Next slide, please. Yan po ang aking kinalakihan. Ano? Ako po ay nagpa-paint na simula ng 10 years old. Ako po ay nag-kolehiyo sa fine arts, no? At napakaganda po ng tinuro sa amin, no? Formal qualities of art, principles of design, no? Lahat ng pwedeng mga techniques, no? Upang ma-improve mo yung aesthetics, no? And yung history, no? Knowledge of history in the arts, no? But, of course, no? Eventually, no? We want to see art, no? Playing a bigger role in society, no? And reaching more people. Kung kaya't, pag ako po ngayon ay nakikipag-engage no, sa isang artist with a diverse ability or disability, no, titignan ko agad sa simula pa lang, ano po ba yung mga paraan para ma-maximize ko yung creative flow nitong bata nito. Dahil hindi lang naman yung kailangan ipa-drawing ko sa kanyang gusto niyang yung makita. Hindi lang yan about feeling, hindi lang yan about, it's really about all the possible ways no, to enjoy the creative process and create an output out of it. And dyan po na po naginamit in the last 10 years po itong model nito. Next slide, please. So maybe it all boils down to the concept of expectations. No? What do I mean by that? para po sa isang artist, no, at isa sa teacher, no, sa isang magulang, minsan may mga nagtatanong sa akin na, teacher, kapag yung nag-art ba sa akin, yung mag-art ba sa yung anak ko, gagaling ba siya sa art? Of course, hindi ko naman pwedeng i-debunk yun, no, na of course bilang isang art teacher yun ang aking role, no. Pero more than anything else, no, arts talent kasi follows creativity, meaning that it is important primarily for a person, no, to use the arts for personal expression, no, self-expression and communication, and develop the techniques in the process, no. Doon mo makikita ang talent, ang ability to create good outputs, no. Based on the creativity and the personal expressive qualities of the work, no. Kung meron tayong expectation, no, bago pa sila mag-express, ay sabi natin, kailangan maganda, kailangan ganyan. Ay, hindi maganda yung ginagawa mo, palitan mo, ganito. Ano nangyayari ay nakikip po yung bata, no, o yung gumagawa, yung creator ng opportunity para ma-feel niya, ma-express niya yung kanya na-feel nang hindi siya ginajudge, no? Na hindi siya titingnan agad na pangit yung gawa mo. And that is the reason why we have so many people, no, who are hesitant to be creative, because siguro po ng mga bata sila din, naramdaman nila yun na gumawa sila ng isang bagay at na-feel nila na hindi nagustuhan ng ibang tao, which is why hindi na nila express yung kanilang na-feel, no? And that is what inclusive arts aims to change, no? Is magsimula muna po, no, sa personal expression, no, through these three means, no? Mentorship, collaboration, and co-creation, no? Meaning that art is really, next slide please, art is really about relationship building. It's really a relationship between the artist mentor and the mentee. You know, it's really about having a personal relationship using the arts, no, which is the most powerful part of the creative process, no. And ito pong collaboration, co-creation. Marami din po nagtatanong sa akin, ano, na, sir, kapag yung po bang anak ko o yung estudyante ko ay gumagawa ng art, tapos tinulungan ko siya, kaming dalawa yung gumawa, matuturing niyo po ba ng art yun nung aking nung bata o nung may diverse ability? Because some people think na pag meron ng intervention ng ibang tao, hindi na siya, it makes it less of an artwork than when it was purely done by the person. But inclusive arts works on the premise that yung teacher o yung parent ay isang artist, yung bata ay isa ding, o estudyante ay isa ding artist, at dalawa silang nag-create together, no? At yung nagawa po nila, pareho in the process, hindi po yan, it doesn't make it less of an artwork of these people who did it, no? At yun po yung konsepto ng co-creation. So for example po, no, kayo yung nagtitrace, kayo yung nagdo-drawing, yung isa pa ang nagtitrace, or yung isa nagko-color, kayo yung kumbaga iba-iba po yung ginagawa nila. It's really still an artwork, no? It doesn't make it less of an artwork if there is collaboration and co-creation happening. So that is the anchor and foundation of inclusive arts, co-creation. Okay, so next slide, please. So you know, I wanted to talk with you more, no, about the other resources and other things about inclusive arts, no. But of course, because I aim this to become a 60-minute discussion, including Q&A and sharing, no, I would like to invite you to visit Inclusive Arts Initiative on Facebook, no, kung saan makikita po ninyo yung mga additional works, iba't ibang resources, no, at yung buong network ng mga practitioners ng inclusive arts dito sa ating Pilipinas at sa Asia. So I hope that after this, you can visit Inclusive Arts Initiative .weebly.com and join the Facebook group Inclusive Arts Initiative. So again, now I would just like to quickly run the partners, no, for this afternoon's event. The National Council on Disability Affairs. Next slide, please. The Northville Foundation, of course, our host for this afternoon. Thank you very much. The Boundless Possibilities Foundation, or BPFI. The UP Center for Women and Gender Studies, or UPCWGS. The British Council in the Philippines. The Singapore International Foundation. The University of the Philippines Manila Museum of a History of Ideas. The Strobe House. And the Federation of Philippine Photographers Foundation, Inc., who will be hosting the next schedule on August 15 at 1 o'clock p.m. So thank you very much. No, I hope you can visit the site, and we are now opening for any sharing, questions, inputs, anything po that you want to share in this conversation. So if you want po, if you may do so po, you can unmute and introduce yourself and do your sharing. For those who are in the chat box of the FB Live and the Zoom, please feel free to write so that we can see what you would like to share or what you would like to ask. So please feel free po to unmute.
Hi, Teacher Amos.
Hello po, this is Mami Cathy Chang. Hello, good
Yes,
afternoon.
Kathy. This is Kathy.
Okay.
Okay, I'd just like to share, first, I'd like to thank you very much for the intervention you made for our children, especially these hard times, no? And for us adults, no, and parents, no, who do not have any condition or disability, it's very difficult already to see and understand what's going on. So what more with our children, di ba? So si Vico, when the lockdown started, we had to keep him busy. You know very well that Vico is a very outgoing. Okay, Vico is very outgoing. Here's Vico. Vico is a very say hi.
Hi.
Okay. Vico is an outgoing person, very sociable. So you can imagine how difficult it was for him to say hi to Tita Bish.
Hi, Tamis.
To Amos.
It's Amos.
Hello.
So yeah, so we had to make adjustments for him and find a lot of tasks and activities for him. That 2 weeks, we tried to be creative, at least for June and myself. We tried to be creative in making him really preoccupied. So since he is a painter, we brought in all of his materials from the gallery to the house and we asked him to paint. Okay. So it kept him busy for 2 weeks. But creative journaling started April, right?
Yes.
When we started. And he really got excited about it, no? Because it was his first online activity. Okay. So initially he wasn't very, he didn't know, he was kind of curious what art online would be. So I just told him, because you just join and you will enjoy it, I said. And he knows you naman, Teacher Amos will handle it. So since then, he looked forward working with you and, enjoying your creative journaling, FWF, no? And also your Zumba, no? But it really kept him going on. And, it kind of diverted his mind from the lockdown, no? And the idea of teaching them understanding what's going on through arts really helped our children. So, and to my surprise, just observing him, he was able to articulate. No, I was just on the side looking at him, and I'm very happy because you made him talk a lot. you know, Vika is a man of few words because he's used to just painting on his own by himself, no, and a few instructions. But when the creative journaling started, I never saw him so talkative. Now, while he was drawing, exactly what you said, he was still thinking, he was already drawing, and then he was even articulating. So that alone, really for me, is really very helpful for our children. And I hope other parents will be able to take advantage of this. And I would encourage other parents really and other educators to see the beauty of inclusive arts and creative journaling being an example. So Vico has a short message for you. his way of thanking you because he's very happy with your activities. So go ahead, Vika. You want to say something to Teacher Amos?
Yes.
Yes? Say hi.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Okay, go.
Good afternoon. My name is Vico Cham,
Louder.
29 years old, an artist and employee in Lula Foundation as administrative and graphic arts assistant. Creative journaling for me is really fun. I have classmates virtually drawing and sketching all together. Teacher Amos is awesome.
Okay.
He lets me think of many things which I can just draw and color.
Mhm.
I enjoy it because it's totally different from my usual painting works.
Mm.
Thank you, Teacher Amos, for making us understanding more about the COVID-19 and how we can stay safe and care for ourselves in a fun way. We would like to invite other children and adults to join us. Let's have some fun.
Okay.
Stay safe, everyone. Bye and God bless.
God bless everyone.
Wow.
Hey, again, thank you very
Thank you,
Thank you
Vico.
very much. Thank you very much. Well, Vika and
Awesome.
Mami Cathy. Mami
Ako
Marian, yes.
naman, may I share, Teacher Amos?
Yes, po. Of course.
Oo,
Mm-mm.
kasi there was one time, I really appreciated the art journaling because um you know naman that situations right now, economic viability of schools, nagko-close down na, pagkatapos, you know, about other businesses have closed down. And the saddest part is the center where Ruel, my son, goes to, have decided to close down their center. And that has been his way, home away from home. It's called Being Home Center. And Mom Tata Iniguez sent pictures of them closing the school. De syempre, pinakita ko kay Ayo because he knows that this is part of his life. And so when he saw that, he was very sad. And I didn't know how to process it without, if not without art, because of the art journaling, he was able to process that. In fact, what we did was an example of what you're saying as a collaborative art. So here I had a picture, I drew a picture of the school, and si Ruel colored it. And in his coloring, we made a story na, bye-bye, Mom Tata, see you tomorrow. It's always his goodbye, see you tomorrow. And so after he did that, I took a picture. I took a picture of a before when he was crying, and then I took a picture of when he was drawing, and then the result with him and his picture, and he was already smiling. Namumugto yung mata, pero nakangiti na. Siya through shirt which he has. And so it was something that, if he my son is such a feeling person. Sometimes he acts out when he's like, you know, sad, frustrated. And in this particular instance, he just cried. He did not act out, walang meltdown, but he just directed his energies and his feelings by drawing. Some of this he draw, like the trees, you know, the leaves of the trees, etc., etc. And then he colored everything. So that was really an example of collaborative work which I did with him. So it was very,
Mhm.
very fulfilling, and I was very happy to be able to process that very sad
Mhm.
occasion of the school closing down. That's it. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
listening.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mommy Mayang, and of course, Mommy Kati, no? And of course, no, by trusting your children also that they will be able to maximize and use the arts, no, for their personal expression and their personal benefit and processing, no. Thank po, nagamit po natin yung upang makatulong. I think the essentiality talaga, no, of art, no, at this time, no, based on what you both shared, no, is the for the social connections that it can make, no, even though we are just on the screen, you know, it becomes an opportunity for us to be at least with someone, no, in such a time where we're staying at home. And secondly, no, is the management of changes that are happening, you know, because especially that we can get really disoriented with so many changes, no. The more so, no, for some persons with autism who have difficulty, no, processing change, no, the art becomes a tool, no, for us to be able to at least express our sentiments, no. And I think, no, even if art is not really a frontliner, you know, in this age, no, in this period of time, it is still essential. So that's what I want to follow through with. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else po who would like to share? Is there any teacher Kai? Ma'am Kai, is there anything on the chat box that to be
So,
shared?
Teacher Amos, wala naman po tayong questions dito sa chat box, but gusto po nilang sabihin na good job kay Vico. Yan.
Okay.
Great speech daw po. And from
Okay.
Josephine Palomares, I agree, Mami Mayang, art helps to process what we sometimes cannot draw out from our children. Heartwarming experience.
Thank you very much. Yeah. And you know, being with Northfield Foundation, you know, actually we have done so many projects and activities, no, that are really that are related to the arts, no, and of course, part of the programs that Northfield will be offering with me now on the platform of Northfield, you know, are different sessions that include this one. No? So if you would like to really know more about how you can maximize the rest of this year, no, and I don't know the next few more months, no, after 2020, no, striving the new normal. Perhaps you can contact the Northfield Foundation to know what your child or what you can do during this time. I'm hearing someone who unmuted. Is there anyone who's going to share? Okay, so of course, no, this activity doesn't end, no, at this point. Of course, we just wanted to keep you with a 1 hour, not to prevent the online fatigue that they say. No, we just want it short and sweet. But if you have if you have any questions, if you are a practitioner, no, who has been doing this, no, but of course it's just discovered that it's actually a discipline and a practice that is recognized globally. No, feel free to contact us through the contact information that you see at the website www.inclusiveartsinitiative.weebly.com. No? So because the purpose and the aim of this form schedule is to of course collectivize, no, and gather, no, as teachers, parents, advocates, no, even those from different professions which are not really on the creatives, no, to advocate together and enable opportunities. So I hope that please do contact me or anyone from us at Northfield Foundation if you would like to share what you have been doing or would like to know more about it. So with that, no, it's a few minutes before, I would like to request, no, Ma'am Tess de la Cruz, no, to give us for her closing statement, no, for this afternoon's activity.
Hello, Teacher Amos. Hello sa lahat po ng nag-participate ngayong hapon. Nakita ko po sa mga Mga participants are our local partners from Sorsogon. CISP is there. Walk and Work from Iloilo, ASP Laguna. Nandyan din po ang IMMFI from City of San Fernando sa Pampanga. ASP Laguna ay nandyan din. And then yung Kaisa Ka Foundation from Manila. So, and most of them are parents ang nakita ko. Teacher Amos, this is really a very encouraging for us na to listen and also for always keep on lagi mong pina-priority ang Norville with regards to how we could help the children, no? These children and youngsters with disability. And for our partners, no, as have mentioned po ni Teacher Amos, we invited you to watch this webinar Zoom meeting so that you have an idea. Actually, yung sinabi po ni Teacher Amos, we will try to, how could I say it, market and offer it to some of our local partners organization in doing the galaw-galaw, ugnayan, and the journaling, no, and of course like this inclusive art. So ako personally na-inspire ako kasi it's not only for our children but it's also for us, no, how paano natin nakikita paano ngayon yung situation na with this pandemic. And right now, di ba, biglang-bigla na bumalik tayo sa MECQ, naka-GCQ na, and also yung biglang taas ng mga cases. So we really have to do something about it. And sa Norville, no, as part of our supporting our local partners, we are looking at different strategies, the different yung creativity, what to offer to our partners organization para din po ma-offer nila to sa mga children, lalo most especially Teacher Amos, yung mga walang access sa internet, no? So actually, kakatapos lang namin, we are really trying, no, nag-fun day, DS Fun Day kami through Zoom din, and then katatapos ng mga webinar, and then now, yung sa iyo naman about art. So, lahat po na to ginagather namin, and then for our partners, kung papaano din namin ito ma-share or papaano natin gagawin. Kasi with virtual communication, may mga challenges din na hinaharap, how we could deliver it, no, para ma-appreciate din, lalo na ng mga bata, napaka-challenging. And thank you for that na ino-offer mo sa amin palagi yung iyong support. So, and also sa lahat po sa mga artists, no, congratulations, you inspire us kung paano despite, no, na your disability still, no, you encourage us and inspire us na through drawing we could also maipakita natin, no, yung what's going on inside. Sa mga parents, maraming salamat po. Sa other partners ni Teacher Amos, nakita ko yung Best Buddies and others na sino pa, yung mga hindi ko po na-mention. Basta lahat po nang nag-join this afternoon, sa mga parents na nag-share. We know Vico because we are, in a way, part kami ng Unilab, no? Yung sa, may project kasi sila yung inclusion, yung for project inclusion. So, sa job coaching, naging part kami, and we know si Vico and how na-inspired din niya kami. And for that, again, maraming salamat sa mga partners. If you are willing to kung paano natin, interesado kayo dito sa pinresent ni Teacher Amos, we can talk about it further. And also, salamat din sa team ng Norville. Si Ranil is also there. Kai, maybe we could ask si Ranil also to say a short message. Sa mga tumulong po kay Aya, kay Judy at saka kay Joanne, ang tawag namin sila technical, ang aming technical support, the experts with regards to Zoom. Again po, in behalf of Norville, our Executive Director, Ms. Teresa Nuki, our partners na nandyan ngayon, Maraming salamat for your commitment na despite nitong pandemic, you are there to really support the parents and the children na inyo pong nasa inyong pangangalaga. Stay safe, all of us, and let's hope for the best. Maraming salamat. Si
Thank you so
Sir
much.
Ranil.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Tess. No, hindi na ako magsalita. Ang galing na ng ng closing remark ni Miss Tess. Meron lang po akong announcement, no? And nagpapasalamat tayo sa lahat ng mga nag-join ngayon. I'm sure karamihan naman dito ay kakilala din natin, no? Ni-invite ko po kayong lahat, no, sa Thursday. Meron tayong malaking webinar on the services for children with disabilities in the context of COVID-19 and beyond. Okay, isi-share dito ang resulta ng ating survey on the situation of children with disabilities and their families. Okay, I'm sure yung iba sa atin sumagot dito, no, sa survey. So dapat ipaalam sa atin kung ano yung resulta. Magsasalita din dito ang representante ng ECCD Council, Early Childhood Care and Development Council, no, kung ano ba yung programa nila para sa mga batang may kapansanan. Magsasalita din dito ang Department of Health. Ano na ba ang ginagawa, no, ng Department of Health? Focus on the services for children with disabilities. Magsasalita din dito ang Department of Education. Ano ba yung plano, no, ng Department of Education para sa pag-aaral, no, ng mga batang may kapansanan? And last but not the least, magsasalita dito ang representative ng Department of Social Welfare and Development. Ano ba ang estado ng mga social protection measures, no, sa mga bata na may kapansanan at sa kanilang pamilya? Okay, tomorrow, no, ipalabas na natin yung yung poster at i-cross post din ito sa Facebook page, no, ng Northfield Foundation. So we are expecting sana lahat tayo or mag-campaign tayo na marami pa, no, ang mag-attend dito para malaman natin at makapag-advocate tayo sa mga major na ahensya ng ating gobyerno na dapat sila ay kumilos, no, para sa mga batang may kapansanan at sa kanilang pamilya. Kasi yung sektor natin ay palaging naiiwan. Kaya dapat, no, malakas yung advocacy natin para ma-ensure na kasama tayo parati sa lahat ng programa at serbisyo ng ating pamahalaan. So maraming salamat, Teacher Amos. Maraming salamat sa mga participant ngayon. And we'll be waiting for your participation sa Thursday, 9 o'clock hanggang 11:30. Pwede rin kayong magtanong, no? Yung mga magulang, magtanong kayo, no, sa ating representante ng iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno. Okay, sige. Maraming salamat and good afternoon po.
Maraming salamat, Sir Ranil, Ma'am Tess, Miss Kai. So, take it away po.
Thank you.
Group picture siguro tayo. Picture Amos, salamat mga
Yes.
parents.
Okay.
Mga artists, salute kami sa inyo. Maraming salamat. Mga partners. Sorry. Hindi ako na-mention. Our partners, Tao Kabuwi from Puerto Princesa, Palawan. Nandito din po sila.